It's been a very long wait for those who want to know what happens next to the kids and the adults of Hawkins, Indiana. But the good news is Stranger Things 4 is with us, and the even better news is it's good.
You've broken everything. Your suffering is almost at an end.
Hey there and welcome to Screen OD. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tim and I'm an editor and journalist who's been writing about TV, entertainment and movies for nearly 15 years. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. It's great to have you here again because today we're going to have a great time if you like sci-fi and if you like great TV, because we're talking about the very, very long awaited return of Stranger Things, which is here for its 4th season on Netflix, which is split across 2 parts. The first part will be 7 episodes, and then there is a part that comes slightly later in the year, which you will be waiting for a little bit longer, sadly. Now, before we get going, let's talk about subscribing to the Screen OD channel. If you haven't already, it's a great idea to hit that subscribe button so you get all the greatest TV and movie content direct to your feed. And of course, I can only ask, if you like what you see, please hit that like button because it helps other people see great content across the internet. Right, let's get started. Stranger Things Season 4. What do we need to know? The first thing I want to say about Season 4 of Stranger Things is we've been waiting a long time for it, and when you're waiting a long time for something, there's often an anxiety that can build around your favourite shows. You might think, oh, it's been so long, is the wait going to be worth it? Do I remember it as being better than it used to be, and actually am I going to enjoy this? I'm here to say that I think if you like Stranger Things, you are going to love Season 4 Part 1. This is a show that is really on form, and I think the wait has definitely been worth it. The second thing I want to say is that there's no spoilers here. I'm not here to ruin your enjoyment, and I don't think anyone should do that for a fan of a show. I know how much Stranger Things means to people, and I know how long you have been waiting. You might be having a watch party, you might be planning to binge the whole thing yourself as soon as it comes out, or you may be wanting to meter it out across weeks or months because you just don't want to enjoy it all too quickly and you want to savour every moment. Well, however you're going to watch it, by watching this review, you're not going to be told anything that will spoil your enjoyment. So that's something that I think you should bear in mind as you go forward. And the third thing is, what a long time it's been. Hasn't it been a long time since the last season? 2019 on the 4th of July was when Netflix dropped season 3 of the show. And now it has been a long old time to get through to the next season. I'm just going to take a look at some stats here. I would say that's 1,058 days between seasons, or as we could express that in a different way, 34 months and 23 days. Or if we do it in old money, that's 2 years, 10 months and 23 days between season 3 of Stranger Things and season 4 of Stranger Things. That is a long time to wait, but the wait has been worth it. And the good news about season 4 part 1 is that all of the episodes are really long as well. Apart from one of them, all of the first 7 episodes are over 70 minutes, so they're kind of feature length. There's a cinematic feel to all of them, and in fact, if you put a couple together, you've got yourself quite a big movie night if you want to try and do it in that way, or you might just want to watch them all at once. That's going to take you quite a lot of time. And the other good thing is that we know that there's going to be even more Stranger Things coming very soon in season 4 part 2. We'll worry about that later. So let's talk first about season 4 part 1 and what we can expect. At the end of season 3 of Stranger Things, we saw the Byers family up sticks and move out west. They'd had enough of all of the goings on in the Upside Down in Indiana, and they were going to go to California for a new life. There were too many demons, literally and metaphorically, in Hawkins, and it was time to start again.
And then I left some Eggos out in the woods, and you came into my life, and for the first time in a long time, I started to feel things again.
At the beginning of season 4, we're introduced to what's happening in California with the Byers. through a letter from 11 that is being written to Mike. We know that it's March 1986 now. It's about 6 months after the events of season 3, and they're becoming settled in California. Joyce is telemarketing and she's working from home, and she is obviously still mourning the apparent loss of Hopper. Now, obviously, we as the audience know a little bit differently about that, but at the moment, that's what she's still thinking. Now, 11 is at high school with Will, and she is now without her powers and trying to live a relatively normal life. Now, everything's not going exactly her way at high school, but she is kind of now living what is quite close to a normal high school life, and things are relatively calm. And Jonathan, who of course Will's older brother, is now into smoking marijuana, it turns out. As 11 puts it, he has made a friend and together they smoke smelly plants. And so we're starting to see him develop as a character and change slightly. He's of course still in a long distance relationship with Nancy back in Hawkins. So there's lots of connections still between what's going on in California and what is happening back in Indiana. Speaking of Indiana, let's head back there and see what's going on. Things are about as normal as they ever have been in Hawkins, and things aren't ever particularly normal there, but you have teenagers who are living their lives, growing up and moving on. Lucas is now a member of the basketball team, and I think he's hoping that this might be a route to moving into slightly different social circles to the ones that he has in the past. On the flip side of that, you've still got Mike and Dustin, who are wearing their geekery and nerdery very proudly on their sleeve, and they've joined the Hellfire Club, which is a kind of Dungeons and Dragons society, which will become very important in the story as we move along. We've got Nancy, who has actually now become the editor of the school newspaper, and she's, as we know and as mentioned before, is still in this relationship long distance between Indiana and California with Jonathan. But of course we know that Jonathan has now got a new friend and is smoking those exotic plants over in California, so there may be some strain starting to come through in that relationship. Max is not in a good place. We see her, she's down, she's depressed, and who can blame her after the events of season 3? So she's very withdrawn at the moment. She's someone who you feel like there's going to be more is going to go on with her character in this season. And then we have Steve and we have Robin, and they are continuing their friendship together. They're working in the video store, and you know, everyone is kind of in their place at the moment doing their thing. There haven't been huge amounts of changes yet, but you do feel like incremental change is going to be a theme throughout this season. So everything's not fine, but it's kind of normal. But with spring break on the way, that doesn't feel like it's going to last very long, because normal things is not the name of the show. Stranger Things is. And there's some very strange things that are about to happen and will turn the lives of the people of Hawkins and some of the people outside Hawkins upside down, if you excuse the pun. Yep, this is a series that is going to have you on the edge of your seat. It takes the exciting elements, the horror elements, it takes the cinematic style, and it takes it all, and if you'll excuse the pun, and this is one that you will have seen lots of other places, it turns it up to 11. This is a show that is on top form, and when you start watching it, you're going to be drawn right back in to the world of Hawkins, and you're going to be right back in there fighting against the baddies, the demons, and those that come from the upside down, because this is Stranger Things at its very best, and I think you're going to like it. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it for you or tell you what's going to happen, but what you do need to know is that those 1,000 days or so of waiting have been worth it. You have in part 1 of season 4, 7 episodes that feel very cinematic. They feel like they have been put together beautifully, crafted beautifully, and yes, they've had quite a lot of time on them in post-production, I'm sure, since they were made, and they feel like they've had a lot of care and attention put into them, and 6 of the 7, as I said, are over 70 minutes long, so there's plenty of Stranger Things to be getting on with. But the good news, the even better news, is that there is more. There's a second part to season 4 of Stranger Things that comes out on the 1st of July. How many parts are there, you ask? Well, there's only two. Two? That's not very many. Yeah, but when you hear about these two, you might change your mind, because the first one's an hour and just under an hour and a half, I believe, long. And then the second one is 2.5 hours long. Yes, that's right. That's like a very long feature film. So we're going to be expecting some pretty epic stuff from those final 2 episodes in season 4, part 2. So that is effectively episodes 8 and episode 9 of Stranger Things, which are almost like films in their own right. So there's going to be a lot of story to be told, even after you've watched the 7 episodes from season 4, part 1. That's lots of good things for Stranger Things fans. So hopefully you can get your teeth into it and enjoy all of Stranger Things in 2022.
See you on the other side.
On the other side.
Right, if you're still here and you haven't gone to plan your Stranger Things watch party or to circle the date July the 1st on your calendar for your season 4 part 2 party, then all that remains for me to say is thanks so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing to the Screen OD channel. We'll see you again for more TV and movie reviews very soon. Take care.